peoples, what's up? My name is Jason and I'm from the Shelf Stories YouTube channel, and I'm here in the Dice Tower today to review Sleep Tight. This one is a little indie card game designed and published by The Moon Grow. It is a game for 1 to 4 players in which you are playing children locked in a nightmare. Very cute motif, kind of Nightmare Before Christmas-esque type art and general overall graphic presentation. Let me go ahead and show you how it plays and I'll come back and tell you what I think. So without further ado, let's go to the videotape. All right, welcome to a game fully laid out of Sleep Tight. I have a 2-player game laid out. The multiplayer game goes from 2 to 4. So the motif is that everyone is a child and they are trying to escape a nightmare. They are trapped. And so these are different scenes, the nightmare in which you're going to traverse. Just wanted to show you a little bit of the art. I think it is really, really cool what the artist has been able to render. You are also going to resist the wiles of the Sandman who are actually trapped. Here is the Sandman deck. And once again, oh, baby. Very Nightmare Before Christmas-esque type vibe. You get the idea of the opposition and the motif of the game just off of the art. Gameplay as well. So these represent fragments that are your power, and you're going to be able to power your action cards, but you're going to play one at a time as you traverse and try to get yourself out of here. So the first thing that happens on every single turn is each child will visit a location. That location will provide a couple of bits of information. First of all, give the players their personal resources, their soul fragments. It will make certain cards harder to play, so you have to check your card and make sure you hit a threshold. I'll show you that in just a bit. And also, a little bit of extra thing happens when there's a symbol match there. So we are going to give the players their extra resources. This does not happen in the first turn, but in every subsequent turn that'll happen. And then we are going to play cards simultaneously face down. We are going to do a little bit of a simultaneous reveal. And then consult a couple of things. So the players tend will fire off their stuff first. So as you can see, I have played an attack card that is normally 2 soul fragments. This is not a cost. You do not pay the soul fragments. You simply have to have them in your personal resources in order to be able to do the powers. As long as you have fragments, you can basically do whatever you need to. And then the Sandman deck will affect that. We'll get to that in a second. So this particular power, because it interacts with the area, it would cost me double the number of swords to play. So I need 4. But luckily for me, I got a good set of resources. I have enough to play it. So I'm going to attack the Sandman. And this person had the same idea, attacking the Sandman. Really, really powerful card. So attacking the Sandman is really good because it means that you wear out his deck. I have done a whopping 5 damage to Sandman. A victory condition is to completely wipe this deck out, and that is a cooperative condition. Every single person wins. Sandman is going to attack. These symbols match, so they are going to take 2 soul fragments away, and these symbols do not match, so they only take 1. So we will discard all of these cards into a discard pile, and we will proceed playing cards one at a time. I happen to show you a bit of cooperation, but that is not the only way to win the game. The game can be very competitive, ultra competitive as well. So let us go ahead and sample another turn. More dreamscapes. This time the dreamscape only provides 1 soul fragment. And then the players would also do the same thing. Play cards, simultaneous reveal. And here is an example of a more competitive thing. This player wants to gather more soul fragments, so they are actually going to yank them from this player. But this player smoked them out, so they played the defense against player actions. So no, you may not have my resources, but the Sandman is still going and still assaulting the different characters. These symbols match, so it would be another attack on their soul fragments. The reason why this character wants to get soul fragments is this is another way to win the game, which is wake up. If one player gets this card and plays it on their turn, then they wake up and they win the game all by their lonesome. So multiple ways to play. You can go after the Sandman. You can also go after the personal victory condition. Finally, and here's a really fun card, this card may come out, which is the Soul Collector. You can resist the Soul Collector if you have one of these cards in your hand. You can go, get back. I don't like you. I don't want you, Soul Collector. Get out of here. Or if you don't have it, you acquired it into your hand, and now all of a sudden you have a kind of secret victory condition, and you're secretly rooting for the Sandman to win by making them kill other players' soul fragments and having some for yourself. The resource collection in terms of the cards and the fragments are also very elastic. They feed into each other. Every turn before you play, you're going to draw a card, but you can also spend soul fragments. Let's say you're running low or you don't like what you have in your hand. You can spend resources to get extra cards. And then I'm going to be checking my cards. And let's say I'm only down one resource and I need to play a couple of, let's say I want to play this card that has two. I can discard a card and get that soul fragment back. So the resources at your hand really respond to your needs. Do you need cards? Do you need fragments? You can kind of play with that and do what you need to do to resist the Sandman and also the other player. So there is an official solo mode listed for this game. It's mentioned in the rulebook and it is downloadable on the publisher website. It's basically the same game, so you're going to be doing the same thing in terms of playing cards face down. The bot player will be playing cards face down also blindly, but as they acquire more and more soul fragments, they're going to be able to play more and more cards. So the more powerful they get, the more powerful that the attacks that will be coming towards you. You need to be able to set up your deck and defend, responding to what the bot is playing at you. The bot can win by gathering 10 fragments on its own. It does not need that wake up card, so that's something that you're going to want to contend with in the solo mode. So that was Sleep Tight at the Table. Thematically, it is a very light, quick, fun, whimsical type experience, card-based. I think the theme comes from two areas. One, the art, clearly. It's putting you in that mode, and the art is very, very well delivered. I had fun kind of being wrapped up in this imaginative world. The second thing the game is doing thematically is that Sandman deck. It's completely random. So it's just shooting cards at you and like a boogeyman. You don't know what's coming. So on the other side, though, you have your opponent that is kind of like presenting you with obstacles that you can kind of sort of see coming. So there's the devil that you don't know and the devil that you kind of know, and they're both kind of coming at you, and you just kind of like, I mean, play my card. I think they're going to attack me this turn. I think, I'm just going to go for my building of my soul fragments this turn. And so the game gives you a sense of being kind of battered on all sides by different kinds of stimuli, which I think was really, really well delivered. Folds into the mechanical thing that this game does, I think, the best, which is give you that basic card play, right? You've played many, many card games, millions of them, or card games where you have simultaneous play and you play one card face down. So that's all like kind of solid and well delivered on that mechanical end. The flavor here, though, is that they're the different paths. So you want to build up those soul fragments, for, just to have, because the Sandman is taking your soul fragments every turn. You do want to have them to play your cards. And then eventually you're likely or going to get one of those cards that let you win the wake up card by 10 fragments. So I was like, all right, I'm going for that one. And I'm going to try to play a defensive game, build up my soul fragments and go that way. Or you could either decide that you want to play a different way or kind of read how the game is developing and say, you know what, I can't get my soul fragments. I'm just kind of getting battered over here. Let me try to speed through the Sandman deck and kill that as much as possible. Everybody will win, but that means I win. So that's another different tactic. And then there's that Sandman card, that soul collector card that you get that could completely change what you're doing. And now you're playing a ultra competitive game secretly if you're not found out. The game does have a resource to say you play a card and say, where's the Sandman? If they're a Sandman, they have to reveal themselves, but you can kind of play on the low if no one plays that card and try to eliminate other people. To have all of those experiences baked into what is basically, let me just show you the deck of cards right over here. Like, this is it. This is the entire game. To have all those experiences available to you, baked into a little card game, I thought was really, really well delivered. It's random. It's a card game. It's you are gonna have your cards just kind of like the best laid plans. You think that that's gonna work, or your opponent has the perfect counter, or you might get a Sandman card that says, all right, everybody wipe out their cards for the turn. And so you are building up, you are going to play, and you could play, I didn't say this in the playthrough, you could play multiple cards in a turn, you just need the resources for it. So you're going to go off for this big turn, I'm going to win now, but the Sandman deck says, nope, nobody's cards count this turn. This will drive a strategic player completely and utterly up the wall, nuts. I'm throwing this game against the wall. 1 out of 10, leave me alone. But it's 15 minutes. You know, you tried. Maybe when you play again, you'll be able to execute that combo and it'll feel really good because you remembered that last game where the deck denied it to you. This time you made it work. Bam, you're good. I don't have too much more to say about this game. I mean, it's very to taste. You either have the taste for this game or you don't. I think if you're a card player, this game offers a little bit more in terms of the different victory paths. So I'm going to go seal of approval, 7 out of 10. I had fun with my plays. I've won every single way. I've lost every single way. And it's always been fun. And I have a small kid, and I get to kind of play boogeyman with the art or whatever it is. Ooh. And it's cool to have that kind of softer edge of a nightmare card in that, Nightmare Before Christmas type vibe. It's cool to just have a game that gives me that. So really well put together package all around. That was Sleep Tight. If you want to follow me and more of my content, please visit me at my channel, Shelf Stories. Shelf Stories is where I get into stories. I love telling stories. I love sharing other people's stories. I also get into above the table editorial type conversation about things that are happening in the gaming industry, history, culture, what have you. I would really appreciate it if you could stop by and check it out. So this is Jason reminding you, if you could change your mind, you could change the world. So until next time, later everybody.